severe injuries, keep your eyes on the road. If you have a smartphone, put it away while you're behind the wheel. It will help keep our community safe and secure. This message is brought to you by Friedman Law Offices, helping injured people. It's what we do. It's all we do. Find us at friedmanlaw.com today.
This is the Happy Hour.
You guys going to happy hour?
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America.
Yeah, I'll come for a couple.
Here are your hosts, Nick Sainert.
I want to know what it's like to commit a crime without having to spend time in jail.
And Alvarez Clary.
C is for chunk.
Brought to you by Empire Fence and Netting on 93.7 The Ticket. Ticket F.
Welcome in. Happy Tuesday. This is the Happy Hour. 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. Nick Sainert and Rico hanging out with you guys as usual. Rico, I was just thinking that we should make a new open.
No.
We got to change what I say.
No.
I think I'm a different person now.
No.
I think I'm changed.
No.
How are you doing, Rico?
Hello.
We got a couple people who have texted in already asking if they're the first text of the day. Ham and Beans, congratulations, you got it. We can't say the second guy because
you didn't win.
No free shout-outs.
So Ham and Beans, congratulations. You are today's Happy Hour winner of nothing.
As always, 402-464-5685, the Honda Lincoln Hotline, the Starter Heyman text line. Both those will be open for you guys, as well as the Starter Heyman Jewelers video stream, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. I'm going to have to twist your arm a little bit on the new open.
No.
Why are you so against it?
The open stays. If you want some new rejoins, I can work.
No, we have plenty of rejoins for our 1 hour show.
I can add some sound effects to the rejoins if you would like.
No, we don't need that.
The open stays. You don't change the open. The open is how people know us. Why would we change the open?
The people will know us.
No, they won't.
Yes, they will.
How are they going to know that it's Nick Sainert if he doesn't want to get arrested?
Without having to spend time in jail.
Exactly. How will people know it's me if it's not C is for chunk?
You can keep yours. I just want to change mine. I want to change
What are you going to
mine.
change it to?
I don't know. I'm sure we have a long list of stupid things I've said.
Well, you have to find them.
I mean, we have you saying something stupid.
Those.
We should, because we say it in the show. Like, we need to save that.
Yeah, and then
we don't. But like, we have your stupid saying of C is for chunk. We have.
It's not stupid. That was the best bit ever.
We have Nate.
Last year was the year of the chunk.
Not the best. The whole smoker thing was probably the best. It just never happened.
No, that one was bad.
Okay, well, anyway,
that one was bad.
Then we got Nate's stupid thing on the open where he's saying, everybody knows I'm the smartest one here.
Everybody knows that is not true.
Everybody knows that that's incorrect. So, I mean, we just have to continue to. Yeah, I mean, see, my guy says change it to the crotch over. Yeah. So, I mean, it is what it is. Oh, well, basically says this, Nick, if you're going to change your part of the open, you have to change it to you explaining your price per byte system.
That's too long.
Yeah, it needs to be quick and easy, quick hitter.
Quick and concise.
Yeah. So, Nyla says, you guys say stupid things every day. Choosing one would be hard. I agree. I mean, we're not.
That's why we need to add sayings to the rejoins.
No, we don't.
Yeah, we do.
All I know is we have probably 20 different rejoins
for a 1 hour show.
That we use 2 of them a day.
I think we
2
do the
rejoins,
best. We're
one
fantastic.
open. We are, but that's what I guess that's what it helps when you're a producer as well as a co-host. So, okay, once again, 402-464-5685, the Honda Lincoln Hotline, Starter Heyman text line. I was looking at our YouTube the other day. By the way, if you missed any of the Sam Griesel conversation yesterday after their big win against Creighton and kind of looking forward towards the Indiana matchup tomorrow, head over to YouTube. We got that segment specifically posted or on the podcast page if you're in your car, because that way you don't have to worry about the video element while you're driving. But we are close to 3,000 subscribers. Wow. We're at 2.92 thousand. So 2,920. Mm-hmm. We need 80 more. 80 more subscribers on YouTube.
I bet you won't.
Just keep challenging them, Rico.
I bet they won't.
I bet you won't.
They're not. You guys aren't that good. That's all it is.
That's
all there is to it.
Ham and Beans says, hi, I'm Nick, and I don't want to commit a crime or go to jail. Like, one of these things, I think one thing that could replace my little spot in the open would be me talking about my love for MapQuest or atlases.
Too long.
No. I love MapQuest. There was it. There it was.
I don't like it.
We just have to cut it.
It has to be natural. You're forcing it. You're trying to find something.
I'm trying
to put
too
in it,
hard.
and it doesn't work.
I don't know. I think the MapQuest one would be just fine.
Do you remember when you said it?
I
That's
do.
the hard part.
I do. I don't know if shows back that far. I mean, that was when I was still an intern, and I filled on.
It goes back that far.
I filled in for a show from 3 to 6 that day.
It goes back that far.
And I went off on a MapQuest tangent.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get to transfer portal stuff.
Shout out to the transfer portal.
Shout out to the transfer portal. As Rico said yesterday, happy transfer portal day to all who celebrate. Okay, so you guys might probably have heard already. Ben Bramer, Nebraska tight end, well now decommit, flipped from the Huskers to the Cyclones of Iowa State earlier. Well, he officially did it last night, but it came out this morning.
From Pierce to
Pierce. And he had himself a heck of a C1 title game a couple weeks ago that I was actually fortunate enough to be able to watch him in person. And at that time, obviously, we didn't know who Nebraska's next head coach was going to be. Let's be real, you didn't know the status of Mickey Joseph. We didn't know the status of Sean Beckton. We didn't know a lot of things at that point. So he was still committed to the Huskers at that time and place. And he had himself a pretty crazy C1 title game. They played Aurora. Pierce did. They ended up winning the game handily, I think 42-14, if I can remember correctly. And Bramer had 11 catches on 11 targets for 249 yards and 3 touchdowns.
He was the main source of offense.
Yeah, no, he was their offense.
Listening to it, and anytime they dropped back to pass, it seemed like up, and Bramer gets the catch.
Exactly. No, it was Ben Bramer. So with him decommitting, it kind of made me think about Nebraska's needs out of the transfer portal, because we got a text in on the drive this morning about how concerned we should be with Nebraska losing players, losing commitments, just losing guys to the transfer portal overall, and just kind of the roster turnover. And my immediate thought is like, don't worry about it. Nebraska's going to replenish what they lose. They're going to, fill voids here and there wherever they need to. It's not Matt Rule's first rodeo. That's kind of my approach to this, Rico. But then this morning, as I was driving into work, I thought to myself about the tight end room. And obviously you have Ben Bramer decommitting. Vokalek and Chancellor Brewington are gone. So that leaves Nate Borkacher, A.J. Rollins, Chris Hickman, and Thomas Fedoni. One of those four
hasn't played in 2 years because of injuries. A.J. Rollins was a spring storyline, a good spring storyline, but then you didn't really see him. Borkacher did a pretty good job filling in for Vokalek when he was hurt, but it was also him and Brewington.
So, okay. Borkacher's your only guy that has had significant experience.
Yes.
And it was in a backup role to not only Austin Allen and Travis Vokalek as of last year, but now Travis Vokalek and Chancellor Brewington at certain points.
He was more of the blocking tight end.
Like here you are, right?
When Vokalek was out, Borkacher was in, but they weren't targeting him a lot. He had a couple catches. They weren't targeting him as much. And as much as we like to think of Chancellor Brewington as the blocking tight end, he was more of a mismatch in terms of receiving yards. I mean, again, they didn't throw it to him a lot. They don't throw their tight ends a lot regardless. But when those two were in, it was mostly Chancellor Brewington getting targets and Borkacher blocking.
So I think it's interesting.
Lined up in the backfield a lot.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Kind of. So if you look at, as Nebraska's staff has kind of unfolded and become common knowledge and official, I've been kind of going back slowly and watching South Carolina, watching now Baylor and Temple, and just kind of trying to learn on what the staff wants to do, what they have done in the past. Not saying that it'll look identical to years past, but you're going to do what you're confident and comfortable with. So if you look at Marcus Satterfield's offense at South Carolina, a majority of the time they used 2 tight ends. So now if you just think about Nebraska's current roster, and it'd be kind of probably incorrect and wrong to assume that they won't add somebody in the tight end room, add one weapon, whether it be through the recruiting, high school, JUCO, or transfer portal. It'd be wrong to assume that. But you see Marcus Satterfield use 2 tight ends quite often at South Carolina. And so it would only make sense that you're going to see 2 tight ends at times at Nebraska. Well, just to kind of put a Nebraska, Marcus Satterfield, South Carolina touch on it, a connection, if you will. South Carolina tight end, there's 2 of them in the portal. There's 2 tight ends that are from South Carolina currently in the portal. First one, Jaheim Bell. 55 catches, 728 yards, and 7 touchdowns in 2 seasons.
I was to say, is his career?
Yeah,
or
no,
okay.
2 seasons.
Say, that's a damn good
Yeah,
season.
I know. Yeah, that's really good. But still, through 2 seasons, he was second team All SEC in 2021. Jaheim Bell was.
Okay.
Second tight end in the portal for South Carolina, name to kind of watch out for, Austin Stogner.
Yes.
Doing some research on him, 67 catches, 864 career receiving yards, and 9 touchdowns through 4 years. Now, what's interesting about Stogner, so he followed, you'll remember that prior to last season, Shane Beamer was in his first year at South Carolina this last season. Now, when he left Oklahoma, he was the associate head coach and the tight ends coach at Oklahoma, went to South Carolina as the head coach. Stogner followed him to South Carolina.
Him and Spencer
Rattler. And ended up, now there's a crystal ball prediction for Stogner to go back to Oklahoma.
Interesting.
So think about that. So Austin Stogner, though, is just kind of one of those to watch because he was an Oklahoma transfer prior to last season, went from Oklahoma to South Carolina, and now he's entered the portal once again after a pretty productive senior season. He'll have 1 year of eligibility remaining. And there's one crystal ball for him to go back to Oklahoma. But then here's the deal also is you have to realize that his offensive coordinator is now in Nebraska in a very thin tight end room.
I mean, if you're looking for a place to go and start and hopefully pad your stats, knowing exactly what the offense is going to be, knowing who your offensive coordinator is and him knowing your skill set, knowing how to utilize you, that would make the most sense if he's looking to play right away. And I mean, in terms of immediate winning and playing for a playoff spot, this probably wouldn't be the best spot for him. But if that's, if he's just looking to pad his stats, maybe make a little bit of money,
improve draft stock,
and know exactly what the offense is, so he doesn't have to, do too much off-season studying, although he should be regardless. This would probably be the best spot for him. So, and I have to apologize, Sean P. Thank you on the text line. I forgot to mention James Carney's also in the tight end room. I'm going through the tight end room right now.
I apologize.
James Carney, there's a couple of freshmen, but it's guys who didn't really play. Luke Lindemeyer from Plain La Vista. We preferred walk you mentioned Chris Hickman. I forgot to mention Chris Hickman.
Chris
Evan Myers. Chase Androff was the one from Minnesota that they signed that they were kind of excited about.
So it's interesting when you kind of look up and down Nebraska's, maybe I shouldn't say thin in terms of numbers.
Inexperienced
and thin in terms of production. Yeah. I think that'd be, when you're looking for maybe just, and once again, this is kind of where the transfer portal could be used for good, I suppose, is kind of a Band-Aid or a cover up for temporarily to where you can allow the guys below or the underclassmen to continue to grow and develop underneath 2 tight ends that if you could bring in 2 guys, they're ready to go day one. Like they will, you feel comfortable putting them out there day one. So, I mean, we'll see what happens.
You bring in one if you truly believe that Borkachur can handle the load. And honestly, if Fedoni avoids injury, he's your starting tight end.
See, that's an interesting conversation because I just wonder what the expectation for Thomas Fedoni should be.
2 ACL tears.
Tears. Like, do we expect the number
into everything?
Like, do we expect the number 1 tight end coming out of high school, that kind of production after 2 ACL tears?
Brock Bowers.
Yeah, like are we thinking like that's going to happen? I don't know, and I don't have the answer, and I haven't even thought deeply about it, to be honest. But
does he still have the speed? Does he have the explosiveness? Does he have the jumping ability?
We don't even know. We don't know how prior to ACL. That's the thing is we have nothing to judge it off of either.
Just his high school tape.
Yeah, which Lewis Central is known for having some dudes. Max Duggan, obviously, now
a lot of people.
Now Fedoni. But it's one of those things where we'll just kind of see what the expectation is and how we constitute a successful year for Thomas Fedoni. But I guess in talking about this, as Ben Bramer decommitted this morning and went to Iowa State, and he mentioned in an article with the Omaha World Herald or the Lincoln Journal Star, I can't remember which one, that
one of the newspapers.
It was one of the ones that they're tied in with each other anyway. That basically the main reason is that he just had a longer relationship with the guys from Iowa State, and give credit to Matt Campbell and give credit to all those guys because when Nebraska endured this 77-day coaching search or whatever it was, Iowa State and everybody else knew that Nebraska can't, like Sean Beckton couldn't go to Ben Bramer and be like, I'm for sure here. I'm for sure here. Like Mickey Joseph couldn't do that. And so Iowa State understood it. Iowa State understood, and they hopped on it, and they ended up getting the flip.
Yeah, they did their best to keep the commits, going with them and try to convince them that, even if I'm not here, this place is going to be the best for you. But look, I understand people want to say commit to the school, not the coach, but it's really hard to just commit to a place and not know who you're going to be around and who's going to be leading you as you go into battle.
Okay, so before we get to break here, taking it away from Nebraska, looking just at the transfer portal, there's been a couple early crystal ball predictions on guys, Rico.
Love it.
That are kind of fun to just kind of think about. So what would we think about DJ Uiagalelei going to UCLA?
That sounds fun.
Now here's the downfall. So there was no crystal ball for this one, but that was kind of one of the schools.
DTR.
They're losing DTR. That was kind of one of the schools that I thought about. I also thought Utah. The reason I think Western is because he's from California, and a lot of times at this stage of their careers, things like this, they try to go home closer to home.
I like UCLA better than Utah.
I do too.
I think Utah would be kind of, and I'm not really comparing the two, but it kind of like Clemson in terms of wanting to run the ball before you pass the ball. UCLA would make the best out of his athletic talent.
He's not a good runner. He's not a great runner.
No, but he's good at avoiding hits in the pocket. Well,
yeah.
He was good at avoiding hits in the pocket and making things happen. He's not going to, run for, over 300-400 yards, but he is able to make plays with his feet when he needs to. And I think in a Chip Kelly explosive offense that his talent would be put to really good use.
Okay, here's another one. Devin Leary, the NC State quarterback,
anywhere.
Entered the transfer portal.
Anywhere.
Has a crystal ball to Wisconsin.
Not there. Please, dear God. No.
You don't want Devin Leary at Wisconsin.
Because that's actually a good quarterback. Really good. You remember the last time an NC State quarterback went to Wisconsin?
That's true.
There's
a pipeline there.
Don't want that.
There's a connection.
Hard pass.
Russell Wilson. Shout out to Chris Raff. Okay, then we have Spencer Sanders. You're going to like this one. Actually, you're probably
Oklahoma State?
No. Yeah. Oklahoma State quarterback. Yeah. You're not going to like where he's going because it's an awkward fit.
Zane Flores start right away?
Probably. But I don't. Where Spencer Sanders is predicted to go, because there's a massive NIL deal waiting for him. It's a team in the Big Ten East. Big Ten East. Don't think it is a top 3 team in the Big Ten East.
Penn State.
Yeah. There is a massive NIL.
I don't like that.
I don't like it either.
And not because he's a good quarterback and it would make Penn State better.
I don't like the idea of Spencer Sanders at Penn State.
I don't care about it. Like, it would be cool. Nebraska doesn't have to play Penn State, so I'm fine with it. But Spencer Sanders' talent would be wasted.
Oh, that's interesting. You also have to remember Penn State has Drew Aller, who was a highly touted quarterback coming out of high school. And I'm shocked that he did not take over Sean Clifford's spot.
Definitely should have.
Sean Clifford was bad.
Spencer Sanders' talent would be wasted there.
So there's
Ohio State.
There's a massive NIL deal waiting for Spencer Sanders at Penn State.
Give me Spencer Sanders at Ohio State.
Maybe. Last but not least, here's an interesting story for Husker fans to keep tabs on, just in the world of college football and how the transfer portal can be used for good. All right. Name of Austin Reed. Who's that? He was a Division II national championship winning quarterback at West Florida. All right.
I'm interested. You've got my attention.
He entered the portal last season in 2021, landed at Western Kentucky.
Shout out Western Kentucky.
This season in 2022, he completes 65% of his passes, has over 4,200 passing yards, and 36 passing touchdowns.
That's Heisman numbers.
Western Kentucky goes 8-5, and they are second in the conference at USA. He just entered the portal on Monday, and now he's going to get picked up by a better team. When 2 seasons ago, he was playing Division II football at West Florida. and won a national title.
Obviously, he only goes places with West in the name.
Maybe.
So West
maybe.
Virginia.
West Virginia, they do.
Here we go.
They are
need a
looking for a quarterback because JT Daniels entered the portal.
West Virginia.
But that is an example of how the portal can be used for good, to where if you're undervalued or under recruited or just underdeveloped out of high school.
Northwestern.
West Nebraska.
Community college.
Yeah. Do you need your associate's degree, Austin Reed? We can hook you up with your associate's degree.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's just going to be interesting to see. I think that's a cool story to kind of keep tabs on as we go forward. Okay, 402-464-5685, the Honda of Lincoln hotline, the Starter Heyman text line. I want to hear your guys' thoughts, texts, calls, whatever whatever's going on in your mind. Let us know. 402-464-5685, as well as on the Starter Heyman Jewelers video stream, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. So at the beginning of the show, we were at 2.92 thousand subscribers, and we are at 2.93. So we need to keep that number.
On, what are you doing?
That's
not enough.
We need to continue skyrocketing that number.
If it doesn't get to
3K,
if it doesn't get to 3K during the happy hour, I have failed.
Does it have to happen today?
It has to happen during the happy hour.
Just that's any day.
Yes,
just during the happy hour.
Any day during the happy hour.
All right.
If it happens not during the happy hour, I have failed, and you all let me down.
So you guys know what's on the line here. What's on the line?
I will
all
cry.
Right, let's take a break. When we come back, we're going to ask Rico a lot of volleyball questions because Husker volleyball travels to Louisville at the KFC Yum Center. Great name.
Fantastic.
And they'll play Oregon on Friday at 10 a.m., which is a joke in its own right.
Yeah,
we'll talk about that. And then also, it is hilarious right now because Cristiano Ronaldo, not to switch sports again, just signed a $210 million deal with some club in Saudi Arabia over 2 years.
Yep.
And he was benched to start the game for Portugal in the World Cup.
That's why they did it. That's why Portugal benched him. They said, how dare you?
He is not starting for Portugal in the World Cup, but yet just like a couple days ago, he signed a $200 million deal with a Saudi Arabian team.
Yeah,
that's Saudi Arabian money, man. I don't know if it's all clean.
Careful.
I don't know what's going on.
They're listening.
I know they're listening, but first Live Golf, now Cristiano Ronaldo.
Whoever's listening, this is all him. I didn't say anything.
Well, Rico told me what to say during the
break.
break.
No such thing.
Let's get to break. We'll be right back.
Follow Nick and Enrique on Twitter at Nick_Singer. Radio Ghost.
Do you carry that hockey stick with you everywhere you go?
Yep, it's my lucky hockey stick. I scored 5 goals in one game with this baby.
And you have to bring it into the convenience store?
How else would I get this bag of chips to the counter? Or point to the Nebraska Lottery scratch games I want to buy?
I suppose you scratch the tickets with it too?
No, that would be weird.
Nebraska Lottery scratch games. Play is good. Go play. Odds vary by game.
Hi, it's Joel Norman, the voice of your Lincoln Stars hockey team. Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket every Tuesday night from 8 to 9 p.m. to hear the latest on the Stars with myself, head coach Rocky Russo, and special player guests.
People first is more than a nice sentiment. At American Senior Benefits, it's the mission. If you're ready for a career where you can truly put your customers' needs ahead of everything else, this is for you. American Senior Benefits is one of the leading senior market insurance product distributors in the country, and they're looking for high-energy applicants with strong communication skills. Enjoy on-the-job training, a fun work environment, and unlimited income potential. Visit ASBMidwest.com to learn more. American Senior Benefits.
Hey, it's Nicklin Hames from Nebraska Volleyball. I hate wasting time in practice, and I want to help you stop wasting your time when you're looking for an electrician. High Electric has been serving the area for over 30 years for both residential and commercial properties. They are experts in everything like remodeling, new additions, hot tub installation, and more. And they take jobs from Beatrice to Omaha and all towns, big or small, in between. Call them today at 402-466-6606 or learn more at high-electric.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet, GMC, and things are rocking in Louisville. We've got transport showing up every day with loads of new inventory, lots of new trucks, SUVs, and crossovers. Our pre-owned inventory is also filling up fast. Our GMC Terrain inventory is really filling up fast, so we're putting special pricing on those right now. This is the time to check out our GMC Terrains, as we've got all models with a great selection of colors at a discounted price. So please stop in or check them out online at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did.
Life's special moments deserve to be celebrated. Since 1959, Riddle's Jewelry has been family-owned, and we're honored to be part of your family's most cherished moments. Riddle's will help you make this holiday special with savings of up to 50% on our sparkling selection of diamond, gemstone, and gold jewelry. Shop our holiday sale to find the perfect gift to celebrate the amazing memories this year has made. Riddle's Jewelry, for life's special moments since 1959.
Located inside Gateway Mall.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now they've raised wages again and they're hiring for production operators at $24.11 per hour, which grows to $28.27 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $32.76 per hour with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salaried jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates, with increased bonuses and vacation for new hires. To learn more or to apply, go to continental-jobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
You had to know that when Wingstop set out to make a crispy, juicy chicken sandwich, they wouldn't make it in just one flavor. They'd make it in all 12, like lemon pepper, mango habanero, hickory smoked barbecue, and OG hot. So why have one new favorite chicken sandwich when you can have 12? Try the new sauced and tossed Wingstop chicken sandwich today for only $5.49 at Wingstop, where flavor gets its wings. Valid for a limited time and available at participating Wingstop locations only while supplies last. Price subject to applicable taxes and fees. 93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Shaping up to be a pleasant early December day. We'll see clearing skies with an afternoon high of 45. Winds out of the south at around 10. Mostly clear tonight. Lows dropping down to around 24. And very similar conditions expected tomorrow. A few more clouds, but a high of around 45 once again. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
You're listening to The Happy Hour with Nick Sainert and Enrique Alvarez-Clary. Sponsored by Empire Fence and Netting on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome in. We're back on the happy hour here. Nick and Rico. What's wrong, Rico?
Welcome back to the happy hour. 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. Join us on the Starter Heyman Jewelers live video stream. Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter. Like, subscribe, share. Let everybody know we out here. We really out here. Nick and Rico joining you on the happy hour. Continue.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. Just take it.
No, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh no, I'm sorry.
Volleyball.
You were out of the room when the show started.
You know what I was doing?
What were you doing?
I told Nate, I said, hey, I hope you know Stetson Bennett's going to get 4th place in the Heisman voting. And he said, you all owe me an apology.
No, we don't.
I said,
he's garbage and
what?
shouldn't be there.
I was like, he should not be there. I'm
okay.
like,
Here, you know what?
fine.
You know what? He's not garbage, but he shouldn't be in New York.
He shouldn't be in New York.
He is not a Heisman finalist.
No, yeah. Give me torn ACL Hendon Hooker
Get
in
this
New York
garbage
over.
off my television.
Give me Hendon Hooker, torn ACL Hendon Hooker in New York over Stetson Bennett.
Give me Blake Corum in New York over Stetson
There
Bennett.
you go. Chase Brown?
He fell off towards the end.
Shoot. All right. Let's talk volleyball. Huskers host number 7 in the country,
Quote,
3
unquote,
seed.
host.
Yeah, yeah. They're the higher seed. Nebraska is. On Friday, 10 a.m. ESPNU. The winner will play more than likely Louisville.
More than likely. Although Baylor is no slouch.
Baylor's no slouch. So just to kind of clarify, Nebraska is the 2 seed in this region, 7th team in the 5th team. 7th team in the country. Oregon is 9th in the country. I messed it up from the start.
A lot of chalk.
Yeah, a lot of stuff.
Up into the regionals here in volleyball. Only one not top 4 seed made it, and I think that's number 5, 5th seeded Houston in the.
That's right.
In the Texas regional.
We can look this up real quick because I don't want to be wrong.
They played Creighton, Wisconsin regional.
So it would have been TCU beat Washington, who was the 8th seed.
Oh.
Number 5 seed Houston won.
They were in Creighton.
Houston won.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Creighton was the 4 seed and lost to Auburn.
Yeah. But I'm saying they won the Creighton first round. They were at Creighton.
Yes.
Houston won. They were the 5th seed. I believe it's the Madison regional.
No.
Stanford. Dang it. I was off both of them.
Bottom.
Dang it.
Just keep on rolling. Keep on trying.
It's got to be one of these. It's one of 4.
So just before we dive deeper into Nebraska here, Texas, the number 1 seed, plays Marquette in Austin.
They're going to destroy them.
So these are the matchups on Friday because they're all playing on Friday. We were talking about because they play at 10 a.m.
They're playing on ESPNU. Nebraska and Oregon kick it all off at 10 a.m. For all you Oregon fans out on the West Coast or any of you West Coast volleyball fans, that's 8 a.m. for you. So have fun with that.
Yeah.
So I'll be in the other room watching on my laptop during the captain show.
That's right. Yeah. So the other matchups though. Just to kind of give you guys an idea, Texas Marquette, that's a 1 versus 4 matchup. And then that winner will play the winner of Ohio State, a 3 seed, and number 2 seed Minnesota.
There are 2 Big Ten versus Big Ten matchups, and that's one of them. And that's going to be
the other Big Ten matchup, number 1 seed Wisconsin versus number 4 seed Penn State.
Mm-hmm.
The winner of that
Shout out to Penn State's coach because this is her first year, and
after Russ Rhodes,
his first year there after Russ Rhodes led them for quite some time, gets them a 4 seed in the tournament and gets to play 1 seed Wisconsin.
And then so the winner of that match will face the winner of number 3 seed Florida and number 2 seed Pittsburgh. Obviously, number 2 seed Nebraska plays number 3 seed Oregon. That winner gets the winner of Baylor and Louisville. And on the other side, number 2 seed San Diego versus number 3 seed Kentucky.
San Diego robbed
of a 1 seed.
Should have been a 1 seed.
And then instead of Stanford.
Yep.
And then they might be able to play Stanford nonetheless because the winner of that match will get the winner of number 5 seed Houston and number 1 seed Stanford.
It's going to be chalk again.
What do you mean by chalk?
1s and 2s are going to win.
Except in 1s and 2s.
1s and 2s are going to win. It's going to be chalk again.
So you don't think Marquette has any shot against Texas?
Not even close. No.
What about Ohio State against? I think Ohio State against
Minnesota is probably the 1, 2, 3 match that the 3 could come out on top just because Minnesota's a 3, right? No,
Ohio State's a 3.
Okay, yeah. Minnesota's been hot though, so to end the season especially, so it's going to be really hard for Ohio State to kind of get past them. But
then
we'll see what happens.
So I mean, we'll see what happens.
But also they have the Big Ten Player of the Year, Taylor Landfair, is fantastic.
So interesting. On NCAA.com, they have Nebraska, Oregon at 11 a.m. Central Time.
That's not what we've been told.
We might need to check on that.
Is it? No, because it was 10:30. Like it wasn't even 10 a.m. Eastern. Which
Huskers.com.
That would be 9.
Wrong. Huskers.com.
Yeah, Huskers.com is always correct. That doesn't make any sense. ESPN, what are you doing?
NCAA.
What are you doing?
And then Huskers.com says 10 a.m. on Thursday.
10 a.m.
10 a.m. So we're going to go with 10 a.m.
We're going to go with 10.
10 a.m. on Thursday. ESPNU.
Yep.
That's the TV.
Because why the hell not?
Why? And John,
What
Cook,
is going
John
on?
Cook's rightfully so, is pissed because he came out and said something yesterday along the lines of like, you're never going to play a playoff or a semifinal or a national championship game in football at 10 a.m. on a Thursday.
I guarantee you when the 12-team playoff comes, all of those games are going to be on ESPN, ESPN2, CBS, whatever, wherever else they need to be.
And now you're getting to a point, though, where you can't argue that this is because of money or lack thereof of attention. Not saying that volleyball gets as many viewers as the national championship game does in college football, but there is substance there. There is volume. There are statistics and data to back up your belief that volleyball is growing.
Hundreds of thousands of views.
Yes. Volleyball is growing dramatically over the last 5, 6, 7 years. And so now there's no reason not to figure it out.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah. So somebody says on the text line, the Husker volleyball game is 11 Eastern time, which is 10 Central time. I understand that, but if you go to NCAA.com, it says 11 a.m. CST.
Central. Yeah, which is wrong.
So,
whatever.
Hey, even the national people make mistakes.
Whatever. It doesn't matter. Oregon, Nebraska is going to be a fun matchup.
Yeah. So tell us about, because I know you've been doing a lot of research.
I got a whole bunch of stats on my phone.
So just run through them.
Yeah, I was going through it. So the thing with Nebraska is I was going through the stat leaders, and it's something that actually surprised me in comparison to Oregon. Nebraska doesn't really have like that go-to person that they're going to go to and feed them for, 20 some kills a match. They spread the ball out. There have been multiple matches this season where Nebraska doesn't even have anybody that has double-digit kills. They spread the ball out so much, everybody gets a chance, and everybody's swinging the ball pretty well, swinging pretty well, getting a whole bunch of kills. But so if you look at it, Nebraska's leader in kills this season was Maddie Kubik, as you would believe. If anybody gets the most swings on the team on a pretty consistent basis, it is Maddie Kubik. She's got 330 kills this season. In comparison, Oregon's number one attacker, Mimi Collier, 490.
Hello.
Second place is, I don't remember her first name. Her last name is Nunaviller. She has 472. Nebraska's second is Whitney Launstein, 285. So again, Nebraska doesn't have that one go-to person, but they're so consistent in sharing the ball and spreading the love that they're not going to have anybody, at least with this team, I'm sure they have in the past, at least with this team, that's going to just far and away blow you away. And that's the person they're going to go to. That's the person you're going to have to focus on. But in terms of that, they get a lot of their points off of other opponents' mistakes and just, the defensive side of things and keeping the ball alive and capitalizing on other teams' mistakes. And also with the block, with their defense, that's another way that they get a whole bunch of points. So it's extremely impressive the way that they're able to consistently really be one of the best defenses, and this year the best defense in the entire country.
Yeah, you think about the difference, like you said, Rico, in Nebraska volleyball and how they spread it around. They don't have that one player that can overpower you. You think back to some of the national championship teams. Obviously, Michaela Fecky is the one on the outside that swings it nonstop. And Kelsey Robinson was the same way. You had Lexi Sun, you had Maddie Kubik.
Even with Lexi Sun, they didn't feed her as much as some of these other teams do.
And so it's just,
Taylor Lanford at Minnesota, she's far and away where the ball is going. There are teams where you know exactly where the ball is going, but that person is just so talented that you're not going to stop it regardless of if you know exactly where it's going. With Nebraska, it's kind of their benefit is they have so many good attackers that's another reason why they run the 6-2 as outside of the fact that they have some pretty good setters, and they were trying to work in the younger ones, and Nicklin Hames wasn't really supposed to be a setter this season. She's supposed to be, more of a defensive specialist, but one thing led to another, and she had to step into that setter role. But they're running the 6-2 because they have so many good attackers that they're able to spread the ball out so much. You don't know exactly where the ball is going. They'll hit their outsides, they'll hit their middles, and everybody's kind of having a blast swinging the ball with power.
Yeah. So once again, Husker volleyball at 10 a.m. on Thursday against Oregon. Jason asked this: what do we have to do to get college volleyball on the ESPN scoreboard? Rico and I have talked about this. It's weird how they're doing it. So all the games are on ESPN Plus, and then now this round is on all the games are on ESPNU. Final Four is on ESPN, and then
semifinals on
ESPN.
Right.
So Final Four or semifinals are on ESPN. and then the national title game is on ESPN2.
It's always been on ESPN2.
Always
I'm not
has.
sure why, but that's kind of how they're doing it. So they're slowly, moving up from the subscription that you need to get to watch the first 2 rounds to ESPNU, which, I mean, you've got to make sure that you have that on your cable package.
I don't know. I guess I haven't looked at cable packages in the last couple of years, I suppose, but like I don't know if you have to have the bigger package or the sports package.
I do.
I don't know how it is nowadays.
It's dumb regardless. So it's up to there. And then you go to the main channel for your Final Four, because they'll make a big deal about it, all the pageantry, everything, the intros, blah, blah, blah. And then your championship games on ESPN2, as it usually is for whatever reason.
So then I don't want to just hop over this or skim over this. Husker women's basketball as well. Top number 20 Maryland. We kind of touched on it very briefly yesterday.
Can I just say one more thing?
Yeah, go ahead.
So in terms of if you're looking for a way that Nebraska can win this game or how they're going to win this game, it's going to be their defense. If you look at attacking percentages, Oregon has hits the ball better than Nebraska. They're hitting a .298 as a team. Nebraska's at .246. But in terms of defense, Nebraska's holding their opponents to .123. So 12%.
That was the thing with the matchup against Delaware State that we were talking about. It was the 1 and 2 defenses.
Yep, and you saw that in the first set where both teams were digging everything. Nothing was hitting the floor. Then Nebraska decided to flex their muscles and kind of come out on top. And especially with the height advantage, they were taking advantage at the net. Again, pulling together 15 blocks in their first round matchup against Delaware State. Whereas Oregon holding opponents to .202. So, I mean, it's not they don't have a stifling defense, but it's still a solid defense nonetheless. But Nebraska, again, 12% for their opponents in terms of hitting.
So once again, Husker Volleyball, 10 a.m. Thursday, ESPNU, or I'm sure you can hear it on the radio network as well. If you want to listen to John Baylor and Lauren Cook West on there. All right, let's go ahead and get to break because we're running a couple minutes late. Let's get to the crossover with Nathan Brennan. I'm sure Stetson Bennett will come up in discussion, but we'll also probably touch on the women's win over Maryland as well over the weekend because Jazz Shelley went off.
She went off.
He played all 40 minutes, shot 10 of 16 from the field, 6 of 10 from 3, and dropped 29 points with a good stat line as well.
Allison Weiner with her first double-double.
Allison Weiner had 13 points. Izzy Bourne, I think, added 18. Alexis Markowski added 14. So Nebraska women's basketball, Rico, you and I were in attendance for that Creighton game. They struggled big time, not only to shoot, but also play defense, just an all-around performance. Hopefully trying to start getting to a little bit of a rhythm here.
Starting to put it all together.
They'll have Wisconsin on Wednesday night, tomorrow night, I should say. Husker women's basketball will at home, and then they also host Samford on Saturday at PBA. So Saturday, big day for Husker basketball, both men's and women's. Men's will play Purdue earlier in the afternoon. Women's play Samford at night. So big week on the horizon for Husker athletics. Let's get to break. We'll wrap up Tuesday's show coming up next.
Download our app by searching 93.7 Ticket in your app store to stay in touch and listen all day long wherever you are. More of the happy hour is next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
There's a lot of realtors in Lincoln, but don't get overwhelmed by the names. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realtor Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate is your go-to option when buying or selling residential and commercial property. Ben's team offers unbeatable customer service and promises to make the buying and selling process as stress-free as possible. Call Ben today at 402-419-6309 for all your real estate needs. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate. No pressure, just professionalism.
They say one great thing leads to another, and that's especially true when you visit a Great Clips salon. When you sit down for a haircut with the skilled and friendly stylist at one of our thousands of convenient Great Clips locations, they'll not only make your hair look great, they'll make you feel great too. And that's something you can't help but share with the world. Download our online check-in app today and opt in to get a ready next text when you're up next. Great Clips. It's going to be great.
Decking the halls with boughs of holly sure sounds great until you're the one who has to do it. Take the stress out of your holiday parties this year and host your gatherings at Suite A Events by Mary Ellen's. Suite A is the perfect place for your year-end company parties or other large gatherings. Suite A and Mary Ellen's can handle the food, the desserts, the decorations, and of course, those holiday spirits. See for yourself online at sweetaevents.com or at 27th and Pine Lake, right next to Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul.
I'm Steve Carper, and I'm here for benefits. You got to come to Oak Street Carpet. With our 12-month interest-free financing, you can do one room or your whole house and leave your holiday budget intact. And with our huge in-stock selection, you can buy today and we'll install it right away. 1732 O Street. We want to make you a customer for life.
Prashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
Are you looking for some holiday fun right in the heart of downtown Lincoln? Bring your friends and family to Lincoln's largest drive-through Christmas lights experience. This show features countless high-quality lights in vibrant colors, holiday props, and favorite characters of the season, all synchronized to music to enjoy in your car. Start a new holiday tradition this year and experience the magic of Nebraska Christmas Light Show at Haymarket Park from November 26th to January 3rd, 5 p.m. to midnight. Purchase tickets.com.
Plumbing, heating, air, and electric brings exciting career opportunities for you or someone you know. They are now hiring electricians and HVAC techs and installers to continually build their professional team. They offer competitive pay and full benefits packages that include health, dental, vision, PTO, and 401k options. Action has created a positive team environment for over 50 years. Apply online at actionlincoln.com.
The Empire brand is growing with ESC fabrication and sandblasting. ESC is your place for custom handrails, industrial and commercial painting, and more. ESC provides custom welding for aluminum and stainless steel and media blasting of all sorts. ESC is great attention to detail. They stick to deadlines and keep within your budget. If you can dream it, they can make it. Contact ESC Fabrication and Sandblasting in Waverly today at 531-207-9329.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Clay GMC, and things are rocking in Louisville. We've got transport showing up every day with loads of new inventory, lots of new trucks, SUVs, and crossovers. Our pre-owned inventory is also filling up fast. Our GMC terrain inventory is really filling up fast, so we're spacing on those. This is the time to check out our GMC terrains, as we've got all models with a great selection of colors at price. So please enter online at cars.com. You'll be.
This environment is the only way to really protect from the dangers of secondhand smoke. That's why smoke-free policies, whether it's in my car or outdoors, there's secondhand smoke or e-cigarette aerosol. Breathe easier knowing the facts. Visit smokefree.ne.gov. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
You're listening to the Happy Hour with Nick Sainert and Enrique Alvarez Clary. Brought to you by Empire Fence and Netting on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back into the Happy Hour, 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. Nick, Rico, Nate with you. Strick is busy right now, so he'll be on the block though. So no, don't fear. Strick will be there.
Do not fear, Strick will be here.
Exactly. So,
but also do fear because Nate is here.
What up? You owe me an apology, and I will sit here and I will not say a word until I get that apology.
First off, hold on. First off, I don't owe you an apology at all because I stand by it, and I'm not wrong.
Time out. Did we play the legal ID?
No, we can play it really
Play
fast.
it right now before we get into this.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
All right.
I owe you nothing, and I will give you nothing.
Why do you think we owe you an apology?
Well, one, Rico said before the season that Stetson Bennett, quote, is bad. Bad quarterbacks don't make the Heisman finalist list. And two, he said that Bo Nix was going to win the Heisman, and he wasn't even invited to the ceremony.
Well, first of all,
so I think those collective owe me an apology.
First off, I don't know why you believe that Bo Nix was going to win.
Bo Nix, you need to realize this about Rico is he says the stupidest things that will never happen.
But if they
he
do,
says it because if they do, he will get to rub it in our face.
I win.
And I like Stetson Bennett.
That's
Stetson
Rico's
Bennett.
bit, though.
Stetson Bennett
is a great quarterback.
Is a good quarterback.
He is on the number one team.
Stetson Bennett is a good quarterback. He's the quarterback of the number one team in the nation.
I think that's unfair.
That is
Stetson Bennett.
That is the only reason.
How
he's in New York.
How come the
Why do you
best
sound like
quarterback
Stetson Bennett's lawyer right now?
How come the best
Your Honor, I
quarterback
think that's
recruit in
unfair.
the country, though?
Your Honor, I think that's unfair.
I
He
object.
beat out a walk-on, beat out the top-ranked high school quarterback in the country, who is now transferring again, which is garbage.
So
by the
maybe
way.
that's
but
who?
that's
JT
JT Daniels.
JT Daniels is garbage.
So maybe that's bad. Maybe that's just
He was the number one recruit in the country.
That means
and
absolutely
decided to go to Georgia.
That means
And Stetson
absolutely
Bennett
nothing.
Beat him.
Jamarcus Russell was the number one overall pick in the NFL draft, and he was garbage.
Not in college.
It doesn't matter where
Not
you're
in
ranked. Yeah, but he
college.
wasn't the number one ranked recruit in college.
No,
or going
this
into
is-
college.
This is just a
No,
bad.
just because you're ranked number one doesn't mean you're automatically going to be good. How many busts
Daniels,
have JT Daniels
did
was not
lose
good.
it. He never lost a game at Georgia, and Stetson Bennett legitimately beat him out. Stetson Bennett is a Heisman finalist. Stetson Bennett is a good quarterback. Will it work in the
Good.
NFL? Probably not.
I will give him good.
Probably not.
He should not
He's
be in
probably,
New York.
He's a Walmart brand Tim Tebow.
So can you sit here and tell
He's
us?
a Dollar General brand Tim Tebow.
Dollar Tree, where everything's a dollar, not Dollar
no,
General.
it's $1.25 now. Don't
Is it
even
really?
get me
Yeah, it
started.
moved up a
Yes,
little bit.
It's $1.25.
Are you kidding me?
So
Very
it's
sad.
$1.25 tree.
Very sad.
It's $1.25 tree.
$1.25.
Yeah,
$1.25.
but they
I
can't
like
change
that.
the name.
Dollar General.
They
Talk
should just
about-
add a 0.25
to all their
That's what they
signs. all their
should. No, that's
signs
what
on
it
the-
is.
Just like what you put on a check for the cents, just like a very small
a
2.5.
and you're like, I didn't
Also,
know about this.
Don't even
So,
get
no,
me
no.
started on Dollar General.
No,
I hate it.
Dollar General's over. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
It's fraudulent.
Yeah.
How are
Oh,
you gonna
speaking
put
of
dollar on
fraudulent,
your
Like
name?
Stetson Bennett
It's
being
not
a
a
Heisman
dollar.
finalist.
so you can sit here and tell us with a straight face, and all the listeners, that Stetson Bennett is a top 4 player in the country.
I think,
That's a no.
unfortunately, so let me say this though. I think that Quorum and Hendon Hooker should have been over him, but
Both of them.
both of them.
So
I think
who's
would
the
be
third
better.
one? Who's the third that you take out, or who's like the second person in the top 4 you take out?
I can't do that to my dude Duggan. It would be Duggan, but I can't
would
because
be
I've
Duggan.
My
stand
dude.
I've stand TCU for too long.
When? Since when?
Since like week 4.
Okay.
I've said that TCU's a playoff team, and everyone slandered my name.
Is that the
and
same?
Here we are.
Is that the
What
same?
is
Is
the-
that the same week that somebody on our text line says you called Michigan fraudulent?
You did.
I still might stand by that. We'll see what happens.
Okay. But he
We'll
wants
see what
Blake Corum, but he
happens.
thinks Blake Corum should
We'll
be
see what
in New
happens.
York.
But I think
Come on,
I
Nate.
somewhat understand the committee not giving a player a Heisman nod, for lack of better words, because they didn't play a full season. I understand their logic. Do I agree with it? Probably not, but I get it. He
Stetson
didn't play a
Bennett,
full season.
Stetson
He didn't play a
Bennett
full
is
season.
not one of the 4 best players in the nation.
I would agree.
Are we? So
The Heisman is also fraudulent because they only took quarterbacks.
Yeah,
and it's
that's
pretty
all they
much a
take.
Davey
but
O'Brien.
is the Heisman? This is the argument that you can make, though. I think an MVP, a Heisman, anything like that, it's not the best player. I don't think
It's supposed to be.
I think the Heisman, similar to the MVP, is the most valuable. So the question becomes, if you take Stetson Bennett off of Georgia and insert an average quarterback.
See, but my-
I disagree, because if you look at who's going to win the Heisman, it's going to be Caleb Williams. And what did Caleb Williams do?
I would say he's probably the most valuable to his team. USC was what, a 5-win team last year?
But what did they?
And Jordan Addison was hurt for the majority of the season.
Yeah, USC is not in the position they're in without.
That's true.
without
That's
Caleb
true.
Williams.
USC is
That's
a
true.
6-7 football team.
My
without
thing
Caleb
is,
Williams.
when I do this, is I want to take the finalists for whatever award it is, and you just switch them on the teams. Are those teams still where they are? Is Michigan where they are? Stetson Bennett's the quarterback. Is USC where they are? Stetson Bennett's the quarterback. Because if you take Caleb
an
Williams and you
interesting-
put him on, if you take Caleb Williams and put him on Georgia,
Oh, I agree.
his stats are
It's the same thing.
disgusting.
I agree. It's probably the same scenario.
He has more than 20 touchdowns. I can guarantee you that.
But I don't think I would say that
Max Duggan on any
value-wise-
of those teams, Oh, that'd be so
because
cool.
of Georgia's offense, I would say Stetson Bennett is more valuable. But that's where it becomes a little bit difficult in college football.
I don't think Georgia's
because-
Georgia's offense relies on their quarterback all that much.
No, but I think that you have to fit the system, and I think that's what makes Stetson Bennett so good.
I think any of
Is
the
that he
quarterbacks
works so well in this.
I think any of the quarterbacks
game
that
manager.
are currently
He's a game manager.
finalists for the Heisman would have worked
He's a
perfect.
game manager and doesn't make mistakes.
I think C.J. Stroud would have. I mean, he would have put up the same numbers at Georgia that he did at Ohio State.
I think so,
CJ
too.
Stroud also has two of the best receivers in the country.
That
Who
is
have
true.
not been playing.
And
Marvin
Harrison has.
and Stetson Bennett has the best tight end in the nation.
Okay, come on. It's very different having the best receiver and best tight end.
I mean, he's pretty much a receiver.
He's pretty much a receiver.
I
He's
think
like
that
old dude from Florida.
CJ Stroud is interesting because
That's now with Atlanta.
do you think
Kyle
that
Pitts.
he's another Kyle Pitts is the man? Do you think he's another Ohio State bust in the NFL?
Who?
CJ Stroud. I'm worried that he might.
I
be.
think he's
don't think
more.
so.
He is more of a complete quarterback than any of the other guys, and I also think Justin Fields is just getting started.
I'm big on Justin Fields. I like
the
Justin
Bears
Fields
are
a
also
lot.
have 3 wins.
The other, well, he's surrounded by garbage.
Still, if he was that good, I think they'd have more.
If
Dude,
Justin,
Chase,
if
Chase
Justin
Claypool
Fields
is their number one receiver.
Yeah,
Chase
they're
Claypool,
surrounded by
Notre Dame.
If
David
Justin
David
Fields-
Montgomery is their number one running
Dave
back.
Montgomery's pretty good.
Nah,
They traded away their best defensive player at the deadline.
I still don't. Come on, 3 wins.
put Justin Fields on the Denver Broncos. They have they have
Bron-
more wins.
Put
How much
Justin
are
put
we-
Justin Fields on the Indianapolis Colts. How many more does he have?
They're probably still around the same. The Colts.
No,
are
No,
very
you are a
good.
damn
Yeah,
lie.
Colts aren't a very good team. I'll be the first to tell you this. Colts are the
Justin
Colts.
Fields. I think Justin Fields is going to be very good. There's like data and there's proof to go out and show that. Like if you watch the entirety of the field, like the whole entire field from like press box view, nobody gets open. I mean that man
That's
has
fair.
to. That
Also,
man,
he's never blocked for.
that man has to do everything on his own, and he got banged up a couple weeks ago. He missed a game. Like,
Well, CJ Stroud. The only thing about that though is that you're playing with the best receivers in the country, and you're playing in the Big Ten.
I mean, that's really.
Which I think a lot of the stats that he's padding are against pretty bad teams.
I mean, in terms of playing with like the best talent in the nation, Stetson Bennett's doing that.
But
He's
I also
surrounded
don't
by
think
it.
he'll be very good in the NFL.
so what?
you?
How
No.
do you
I don't think
think?
very good
How
in
do
the
you? Does anybody but Caleb Williams have a shot at the Heisman?
Probably not. I think if it was anyone, it'd be CJ Stroud. But I think it's a done
If
deal.
Max Duggan wins the Big 12, he has the best chance.
I don't think so. People forget that he did not have a good first 3 quarters. Like he was not looking good.
He's a stud though.
Well, yeah,
but
he's
the
good.
rest of his
Duggan's
season was
awesome.
pretty good.
Yeah,
his rest of his season
It was literally
good.
him
But
versus
you talk
everyone
about,
else.
You talk about when everybody's watching you.
Adrian Martinez didn't get hurt.
Adrian Martinez Heisman. There
Man,
it is.
I'll
All
tell
right,
you what.
on the block with
Don't you look at me like
on,
that, you Stetson Bennett stan.
on the block with Strick and Nate coming up next. We'll talk to you guys tomorrow.
Adios.